This is Devansh Lakhani from Lakhani Financial Services. Let me speak to you today about certain features which I was reading yesterday about angel investors, which I came across, while reading, and there were some very beautiful facts about angel investors, something which is very common across the world. First of all, we all know that angel investors are people who actually invest in startups and who are very important to not only invest their capital in startups but also their expertise, their contacts, their efforts to actually help the startup grow from one level to another level. These all are something which we've discussed in the past videos, and there has been a lot of obviously videos from my end and articles from my end also which I've tried to put it out there. But how many of you know that there are multiple other features which are common amongst angel investors across the globe? Okay, today I am going to give you those kind of features because I was just reading an article 2 days back, and I thought let me just share out this information because this was very surprising article for me. I didn't know about this information, so I thought let me get back to you guys and let me help you with this knowledge. Before I do that, I would urge you all, if you like our videos, subscribe to my channel, click on the notification bell, and share it with your friends, with your community, with your circle. This would really help us grow, and in fact it will also help you grow. So the first demographic feature which I found really very common amongst angel investors across the globe is the gender. Now guys, you will be astonished to know the gender disparity that is there amongst the angel investors community across the world. Studies have conducted that angel investor community is dominated by male again, and I have some data with me, and you will be very surprised to know USA, for instance, has 78% angel investors as male. Britain, for instance, has approximately 89 to 92% of their angel investors community as male. Germany has about 85 to 87%, and Hungary has about 88 to 90%. These figures are very surprising in today's world. You will be more surprised to know when I tell you about India. I could not get any concrete information about the angel investors community in India, the genders of there, but what I found out was for the top 20 VC capital, venture capital firms in India, there are only 3 firms which have only one woman partner as there in the top management of the decision making. This is very surprising and very astonishing to me too, and it is something that I was never aware of, and I thought this would not be the case. But let's leave this topic to a separate video altogether. So the second demographic feature which I'm going to tell you about is the age. Now this is not something surprising that I came across, but I need to put it out to you guys because it's a fact, it's a particular demographic feature. Most of the angel investors age between 40 to 65 years old, right? Because this is the time during which a person, if he's become successful, number one, there will be enough experience with him, enough knowledge that he would be able to share with his founding companies, and plus obviously a very important thing, enough wealth or enough money that he would have obviously generated or created for himself and for his family. So now the only thing that is left to be done by him is to actually take a call whether he wants to be relieved of all the duties that he's been doing and enjoy a good retired life, probably do some passive investing, etc., or he wants to actually contribute to the business field and become an angel investor by investing in some startups. So this is the only thing that is left to be done by him. However, now what I have noticed, a trend that is happening today in today's world, not only in India, in fact across the world, is that many youngsters from their mid-30s have started investing in startups. Obviously, primarily due to the reason that there have been many angel network groups who are offering, you can actually invest certain less amount of money. Say for example, in India it starts with as little as 4 to 5 lakhs rupees. We do that also. So I think now there are multiple youngsters who started taking investing in startups as a asset class, and actually investing in that in the startups in which they are passionate about. The third feature, which is very common amongst angel investors across the world, is their occupation. Now obviously I understand that all the angel investors are from various professions. However, studies that have been conducted and data that suggests that 78% of the world angel investors are from business community. Okay, 78%. Let me repeat myself. 78% of the angel investors across the world are from business community, right? And this means that the people who are investing in startups from jobs community, right? If someone is an employee at any company, those are very less, because obviously of the reasons that they are looking for security and safety and safe asset classes, or probably they are not aware of startups as an asset class, alright, or they might be feeling that investing in startups, the ticket sizes has to be pretty high, but that is not the case, right? However, today now we have certain investors who with us, angel investors who are associated with us, who are from the jobs community as well as business community. And the main reason is that now the ticket size per investment in startup has reduced to as little as 4 to 5 lakhs. That is why many angel network firms across the world, AngelList and Gust, and in India also we have quite a few angel network firms. These guys have obviously helped in developing that community of angel investors. So I would definitely urge any of you guys who are watching this video, if you all take startup as a very important asset class in your portfolio, and if you would want to invest in startups, whether you're from the jobs, you're doing a job or something, or you are a businessman or an entrepreneur yourself, I would tell you all, I'm giving the link in my down below. You all can definitely click on it, and we'll make sure that you get all the best services that are there from our side, and you get the best startups to invest in. The fourth demographic feature which I would like to share with you guys is the point of being a rich individual. Earlier, at least investing in startups or to become an angel investor, there was a certain criteria for people, especially in the US and UK, to have a certain net worth or a certain profit or something in their financial statements, and only those people who could actually pass that criteria could actually invest in startups or become angel investors. For example, in US earlier, maybe 15 years back, 12-15 years back, in US, everyone in 3 angel investors would have a net profit of over $1 million, right? In the Britain, at least 19% of angel investors were millionaires, and that's why they could become angel investors. However, times have changed now. Now all these things, most of these things, the criteria, the strict conditions to become an angel investor do not apply in today's world. Again, especially after quite a few angel networking groups that have actually come into the picture. Now anyone, for example, you, me, anyone can actually start investing in startups. Become an angel investor with as little capital as possible. Just that you should be aware and knowledgeable that startups is also an asset class to invest money in, and it can create that kind of wealth for you in the long term. Once you are clear with that particular thing, I'm sure you will be able to actually start investing in startups as simply as you are investing in probably a stock or mutual fund or gold or something. The fifth demographic feature is that angel investors across the world like to take risky decisions. Of course, this is a no-brainer. If you are investing in startups, yes, it is a risky bet, it is a risky proposition. So investing in startups, before you start investing in startups, you have to be aware of that fact that it is a risky proposition. But most of the investors, angel investors who invest in startups and who create portfolio in startups know of this fact, and they like to take the risk head on. because probably of their vast and often successful experience of managing companies at a good level and helping those companies grow also. So this becomes kind of a thing for them, that it is okay once they create that portfolio, once they start understanding the ecosystem, they will start seeing the returns, they'll start seeing the exits, they'll start seeing the valuations also growing up. So obviously this is a risky proposition. Anyone who wants to start investing in startups, definitely we are there to help them. We are there to decrease their risk in a sense of giving them a lot of knowledge about it, which would definitely help them to actually start investing in startups and acquiring that knowledge about investing in startups. So the last demographic feature that I came across yesterday, and I'd like to share it with you guys, is that most of the angel investors, they like to invest locally. Now what do I mean by that? Okay, let's go to some data that have been conducted. The studies that have been conducted, it suggests that over 80% of the angel investors like to invest in their own country, right? Out of that, 60% of those investors, they would like to invest in their own state itself, where they actually reside or where their operations are from. This is because obviously of the fact that you don't want things to go out of hand, and if there is any problem or some kind of emergency or any meeting to be held or something, the investor can reach the founder or the startup's place at the minimum possible time, maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours, but that's about it. People want to, investors want that their founder should be accessible, not only via probably Zoom call or video call or something like that, but also many of them would also still think traditionally that if it is accessible to reach the founder's office or the plant or factory or something where certain operations are going on and certain problems happen, so that particular thing is accessible for the investors. So they would not ideally want to invest something that is outside their state or even outside their country, because obviously it's going to take time to go there and reach there and probably help sort out if there is any problem, or in general to meet the founders also. If you really like this video and this content on angel investing, on startups, on businesses, I would really request you to all subscribe to my video, click on the notification bell and share it with your friends, groups, circles, your community, etc. so that whatever knowledge I try to share with you, that can be reached out to those people to whom probably I'm not being able to reach to today. And today I'm giving you a link to our special investor registration form. Anyone who's watching this video and who believes that startup is a good asset class to create wealth in the long term, submit that fill in that form, submit it to us, and we'll make sure our team gets back to you and provides you the best possible startups to invest in. Thank you guys.